It is 8 o'clock. One person starts a movie. Someone else joins an online game. A laptop begins backing up photos. Two phones are scrolling, and a smart TV is downloading an update. The internet plan is exactly the same plan that felt fast this afternoon. But now the movie buffers, the game stutters, and everyone says the same thing. The Wi-Fi is slow. The strange part is this. 4 different traffic jams can create that one symptom, and the clock alone cannot tell us which one it is.
First, an important distinction. Wi-Fi is not another name for the whole internet. Wi-Fi is the short radio link between a device and the router, or wireless access point, inside the home. From there, data still has to pass through the router, cross the broadband connection into the neighborhood network, and travel across the wider internet. Think of it as a journey with several roads. A slowdown on any one of them can make an app feel slow. So when people say the Wi-Fi is bad, they may be describing the local radio link, or they may be describing something much farther away. The first traffic jam may be entirely inside the household. Your plan might deliver a certain amount of capacity to the home, but the devices do not each receive a private copy of it. They share. A movie may be pulling video data. A console may be downloading a game. A cloud backup may be sending files in the other direction. Even background updates can join the queue. The exact effect depends on the applications, the router, and the connection. The point is simpler. Evening routines often create more simultaneous demand. The plan has not changed. The number of things asking to use it has. But household demand is only one queue. Wi-Fi itself uses shared radio channels. Here is a useful simplification. Devices listen before they talk. If the channel sounds busy, they wait for a chance to transmit. That waiting helps stop devices from constantly talking over one another. And the devices doing the talking do not all have to belong to you. In an apartment building, nearby networks may use the same channel. Your neighbors are not using your internet plan. They are sharing some of the same radio airtime. When more nearby networks become active in the evening, every device may spend more time waiting and less time sending.
This is where the two familiar Wi-Fi bands matter. In general, 2.4 GHz travels farther and handles walls better, but it is older, crowded, and has fewer clean lanes available. 5 GHz usually offers more capacity and higher speeds at shorter range, with less ability to push through obstacles. So 5 is not automatically better in every room, and 2.4 is not automatically slow. A nearby laptop may do well on 5. A small device behind several walls may hold a steadier connection on 2.4. Channel width matters too. A wider channel can carry more data when the air is clear, but it also occupies more radio space. That is why current guidance often favors a narrower 20 MHz channel on crowded 2.4 GHz networks. Then there is the room itself. Radio signals lose strength with distance and obstacles. Thick walls, metal, large appliances, cabinets, and even an awkward corner can change the path. A router hidden on the floor behind a television is solving a harder problem than one in a central, elevated, open position. But placement is not an exact recipe. Homes use different materials and have different layouts. Moving a router may improve one room and weaken another. The useful idea is not put it here and everything is fixed. It is to compare locations and remove obvious obstructions before assuming the internet plan is the problem. The third possible bottleneck is the equipment at either end of that radio link. An older router may support fewer modern Wi-Fi features, and an older phone or laptop cannot use capabilities it does not have. A weakly connected device may also need more airtime to deliver the same useful data. Meanwhile, the router is handling radio traffic, local network jobs, and the connection to the internet. None of this means that an old-looking router is automatically guilty. New equipment cannot remove a concrete wall or add capacity to a congested ISP link. It only helps when the equipment is actually part of the bottleneck. The fourth traffic jam can be beyond the home. Residential broadband networks have shared sections too. When many customers are active, an overloaded part of the access network can reduce performance. This is the evening rush hour idea, and measurement shows that it can be real. In one Ofcom sample, average download speed from 8 to 10 p.m. was about 95% of the average maximum. That is a measurable difference, but it is not a rule for every connection, every provider, or every night. Full fiber, cable, fixed wireless, and other technologies do not behave identically. So an evening pattern is evidence worth testing. It is not proof that the ISP is the cause. Now the family apartment makes sense. Their movie can buffer because several devices are sharing the home connection. Because nearby Wi-Fi networks are competing for airtime. Because walls and equipment make one radio link inefficient. Or because capacity is tight farther into the ISP network. More than one can happen at once. That is why a single speed test, taken once, in one room, cannot explain everything. The useful question is not, what is the fix? It is, where does the slowdown begin? And we can narrow that down without pretending to diagnose every home from a distance. Here is a practical order for testing. First, compare a good period with a slow one. Use the same device, location, and test method. One result is a snapshot. A pattern across several evenings is more useful. Second, during a slow period, pause obvious downloads or backups. If the experience changes, household demand becomes more relevant. Third, compare Wi-Fi near the router with Wi-Fi in the problem room. A large difference points toward the local radio path, obstacles, or placement. Fourth, if you can, connect a computer to the router with Ethernet. Ofcom recommends a wired connection for the clearest view of broadband speed, because Wi-Fi can affect the result. If wired performance stays healthy while Wi-Fi falls, investigate the wireless side. If both slow together, look wider at the router, access connection, or ISP path. Fifth, check whether one device or every device is affected. One suggests a device-specific issue, many suggest a shared segment. Record the time, wired and wireless results, room, device, and active uses. That evidence is more useful than buying hardware at random. So why can Wi-Fi feel slower at night? The plan does not change with the sunset. Evening use can load the household connection, nearby radio airtime, equipment, or the ISP network. One may dominate, or several may overlap. Test the path. Good versus slow, near versus far, wireless versus wired. Then act on the evidence, not a universal fix.